welcome to the stream. I'm just hanging out and editing a video for tomorrow. If you can hear me, let me know. I've got possibly one or more clients hanging out with me on a different call, and then you might hear their voices asking me questions about my editing, and that's all I'm doing, is I'm just sharing what I'm doing, editing. The only thing I've done so far is throw my footage in here and chop it into a rough cut. I've got some fine tuning to do. I've got all the B-roll to find. I've got all the color to do. I've got all the graphics to do. I've got all the transitions and all of the things, the punches and the zooms. I have to do all that. And also I have to leave here like no later than 4 p.m. So I'm working on this. I know Abby's out there. Abby, if you could give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, that would be super, super good. Wonderful. So glad to know that. Are you sure you're only hearing me through YouTube and not through the call? Because through YouTube, there's a delay. So you probably don't hear me yet. But if you check that, that'd be cool. And anybody else is out there, jump in, say hi. Awesome. Thank you, Jen. Glad you're here with us. I'm going to be doing some editing, Jen. If you've got questions, let me know. And if you're joining, hit like, because the YouTube overlords maintain their dominance by making sure that if you don't smash like, you don't get seen. So if you could smash that like button with a reckless abandon, as did your parents beat you as a child, that'd be great. Unless you didn't get beat as a child, in which case that's wonderful. You shouldn't. That's a bad thing. But I'm going to start editing, guys, and you just hang out. If you have editing questions, let me know. This is weird because I don't have to actually entertain you. I'm just working, and you guys are hanging out. I like it. Can you hear me well enough? I'm not really talking at the mic, which is different. Good? Yes? No? Okay, cool. So I'm not going to explain everything I'm doing. So you should 100% ask me questions if you have them. Abby is live with me right now, at least. If you have questions about anything I'm doing at all, Abby, like just unmute yourself and ask a question. You'll be on the stream, but they can't see you. They can only hear you. So that's that. I need to check and make sure I don't have really, really janky transitions, first of all. I need to... Oh, go ahead, Abby. Did you have a question? No, I heard you for some reason. Okay.
Oh, sorry about that echo. Yeah. Hey, yeah, I was hoping that one thing you could show is how to put a drop shadow behind an image. Oh, sorry about that echo. Hey, yeah, I was hoping that one thing...
Yes, I can do that. Great. And then you cut yourself like right in time. I love it. Cool. I can show that. That's a pretty easy one. And then I'll go and do my actual cuts. I will throw an image in there real quick, just so you can see that. One sec. Let me go to my downloads and grab just a PNG I've used at some point. Yeah, so pretend I was using this emoji here. Okay, if I threw this facepalm emoji, right, you see he's right there. Let me make him a more reasonable size. It'd be hard to see on this because it's so dark. So I'll use white, but it would work for black shadow as well. But it's like scary simple. You go over here to Open FX, go to this little search bar, type shad, look, drop shadow. You can search in that bar. It's a thing in Resolve. So like I'll do that again. So Open FX, magnifying glass, searchy thing. You don't have to. You can just scroll through it. I do that a lot too, because like right there somewhere. But or you drop shadow. Okay, drag that onto the image. Okay, and you might be able to see it already. I don't know. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see better. And then I'll just crank up the shadow strength. I bring the distance down, decrease the blur a little bit because I like this subtle shadow a little bit myself. Like visible but subtle, and then I'll make it white so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Let's give it a little more blur. See that? And of course you can do, you know, whatever angle you want. That's that. Cool? Is that helpful? Good. I'll delete that. Okay, so now I'm just gonna... If you're just getting started, so YouTube... Also, if you don't know, when you're playing through your footage, you need to check some things really fast. Shift-L is your friend on your keyboard. That double speeds everything. So I want to jump around in a few places and just check.
Checking your budget, or like not wanting to see test results.
That's fine.
You get more information if you want to, but only at your own level. If you want to grow on YouTube, you need to understand this. Welcome to Creative People.
Yeah, me talking faster than normal. Now here, see, look, I see here there's some space. That's a pause. Is that a good pause? Not all pauses are bad, so how does this feel? Oh, to understand YouTube analytics. And I'm going to show you the... It feels long to me, right? So I'm just going to go in here and do a finer cut. Control B in both places. Grab both of those, delete. right? So
know to understand YouTube Analytics. And I'm going to show you.
ooh, nope. But see, I cut off my S. That doesn't work. So undo that. That cut's still okay, but this one, I need to give it a few more frames. So I just move it over the playhead, drag this cut over to where my playhead is now. Try that cut.
Understand YouTube Analytics. And I'm going to show you the.
And so that actually feels a little janky still. It feels a little fast. That cut, it's like a little harsh. The reason cuts will feel harsh, my watch told me it was dying. The reason cuts feel harsh is one of two reasons, and oftentimes both. You either have an auditory signal that something's off in the flow, it doesn't flow well, and or a visual signal that something's off. The visual part is actually often what keys you into the idea that it's funky. So like if I were to put in a piece of B-roll here, I'm making my folders all weird here, but let's say I had this piece of B-roll, all right, and I want to drag just the video, and I put that over that cut. Now,
to understand YouTube Analytics. And I'm going to show you the most.
it gives you less of a signal that there was an awkward cut there. So like you might pick up on the sound being different, but you don't know there was a cut there anymore because I covered it visually, so you might just miss it entirely. So that helps a
Important
lot
analytics you need to look
when
at.
you
For this
just
exercise,
can't
we're going
make
to use
it
this video
sound
from my
right.
wife's channel.
Wait.
Need to look at. For this exercise, we're going to use this video from my wife's
Yeah, that's
channel
fine.
on how to make cold brew coffee. And the first metric we're going to look at is views.
So I'm just scrubbing through. I'm looking at my audio waveforms. I'm looking at these waveforms to see if there's any big pauses, right?
But this is actually not the most important.
That was just me naturally pausing, not the end of the world. I'm not like going, that's a bad thing. This is just me naturally pausing. So I'm just going to scrub through. Here's one
I'm
that might
going
be
to tell you how to fix your videos. As we're looking at the rest of these.
too much. And note, whenever you have a s, oftentimes you can't really see it as well in the waveform. So I see, but look, the sound goes all the way in that far, and you can't really see it. So I'm just going to make sure I leave my S so it doesn't sound
How
weird.
to fix your videos. As we're looking at the rest
That's
of
a little better.
these metrics in
So
your
but
YouTube.
even those little tiny cuts can make a big difference in your videos. No, nothing. Usually I clean these up pretty well in the rough cut, but in the rough cut I'm just trying to move fast and get the narrative laid out for what the video is going to look like. Let me go back to my chat real quick. Nope, nothing. If you guys have questions, let me know. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button so I know that, you like the video, and so does YouTube, and they can share it with people. Let's go through here. If you are, let's see, is anybody over there? Nope. Okay, great. See, and you'll see little pauses like that.
is that this is very
So that sounds awkward, except that you don't know that
This
this is happening.
is very
I'm pointing at something with the screen. Oh, and on this video, I have two different layers of video. The underneath layer, the first layer is B-roll. This is me talking on the talking over the screen capture. So like on this video, right, you've got me in front of my screen looking at my editing software on DaVinci Resolve. On this one I'm doing, this is me looking at my wife's YouTube analytics and talking about them. So I recorded that part on the computer. Here is the higher quality footage from the camera over that, which I won't even just disable this and let this play. What I'll be doing is moving this into a separate layer after I identify which clips I want it to be, and then shrinking them so that they just cover, well, shrinking and cropping. So I just crop out like this, and then moving it into position to just cover the part that's there so that even that part looks better. Now look, you can see the difference in quality, I think, if I just zoom in here. Let's see if you guys can see that. Now versus this, just it's a little grainier, right? So the footage from the camera is better, so I use that instead. So I'm just gonna undo all of that stuff I just did because I don't need that to occur. Okay, cool. Now I can. Oh, and notice I've zoomed way in here. That's annoying. I have to zoom back out. When you're editing, you can just hit Z and it restores your image on DaVinci Resolve to the regular preview fits to window. Okay, back to the scrubbing. I always use the DVE in effects to make the image smaller, but I can just shrink it. Ugh, duh. In fact, yes. Ugh, duh, indeed. So I'm just scrolling, looking, especially for awkward spaces between cuts. Like, what's this? This might be fine.
This,
Yeah, that's what that same thing. Okay, so let me zoom out, move forward. Let's see here, what's this?
of impressions. But if watch times where you're struggling, of thousands of impressions. But if watch times where you're struggling a little more right now,
Yeah, that's okay. Another thing that's nifty when you're cutting between different takes, like this is my kind of my outro. Don't do outros. It's my crash. And I did like 7 takes of it because I just couldn't get it right. I kept fumbling over my words. We all do that. It's okay, unless you're like on a teleprompter, and then you only have 7, 6, 3, maybe 3. When you do that, one of the things that's really helpful is a J cut or an L cut. A J cut looks like this. I've got my audio and then my video tracks. The J cut would be this by a few frames, so it kind of looks like a J. And the idea there is that
but if watch times where you're
not the video and the audio change at the same time in a sudden cut, but rather
but if watch
just
times
the
where you're
audio.
struggling,
So it only changes one signal to you, and so it doesn't feel like time gets as much messed up. The opposite of that is an L cut, where you move the cut back the other way so that it jumps into the next clip's video earlier. So like,
impressions. But if watch times where
but there, that's funky. Don't do that. I'll probably make that one a J cut later, but I'll be doing it more finely. I usually don't do J cuts more than like 3 or 4 frames. 5 frames is a lot for a J or an L cut because you'll end up with it looking like your audio is out of sync. Just a few frames can help ease into the next part of the talk, especially in talking head videos, without it feeling like you're doing a scene transition, which, guys, don't do scene transitions for just going from like one take of you saying something to the next. Don't do that. It's awkward. It's very like, I don't know, high school, like morning news-y, right? Don't do random transitions. Nobody wants that. And keep it simple, people. Okay. Oh, more people. Say hi and like things and ask me questions. All right, so let me go back. Now that what's the end here? Let's see.
here to watch that.
No, it's fine. Cut out when you look away from the camera. I do this thing. It's so annoying. I have to work on it. Whenever I'm recording and I'm done saying something, I'm like, or I close my eyes or I look away. I don't know what it is. I avert my eyes like I'm ashamed to look at the camera. I'm not sure. Some of you guys have tics like that too. I make myself, Abby's like, yes, me. I make myself stare at the camera as long as I can. Hey, Calvin, glad you're here. Welcome. Didn't see that. Hey, welcome, man. I make myself stare at the screen as long as I can after I'm done with my take. And you'll see here, even this.
To watch that.
I'm like awkwardly staring because I can cut that easier than I can cut to watch that. I can't even use that. I have to like put another picture in front of it or some text or like a censored bar to hide my shameful eyes of looking. Don't do that. Just keep composure. If I lose my thought, I do that too now. I'll make myself go. And the other thing, and I'll literally stare here, like I'll make sure I don't move my face. Okay, what was the other thing? Is that, and I'll go into it, right? So keep yourself focused. All right, I've gone through. That's a relatively decent fine cut. When I'm doing other details, I'll find other things. The next thing I'm going to do is actually my color, because the color on a talking head video is really simple. So if you have color grading questions, jump in here. Life of Tillman's. Morgan, hey, there's a call going on too, Morgan, for client people. If you want to jump in and you want to ask questions live, your voice will be heard, but you won't be seen. I have to work on the keeping composure. It's hard, especially when you... I know, and I mess up all the time, but you can do it. All right, so color time. I only had one scene in this, so I only have to do color one time, and I can apply it to everything. Now, the trick to making this really simple is to only apply color, or rather to apply color before you do like most other things. I actually have an editing workflow video that explains all that, so go check that out after this if you haven't seen it. But the reason my workflow is set up that way is because it's way harder to do color later. So you can see right here, I've got 2 tracks of video right now. One being the under track, which is like my screen capture, and one being my actual high quality, like 100 megasecond 4K capture. I'm going to disable the under track, and you see I have here, every other is like this because it's actually 2 tracks on top of each other. I'm going to disable the bottom track, and now it's all my main camera footage. So I'm going to pick one that gives me a decent open mouth picture. You want to make sure you start with something open mouth. compound clip before color? Abby, what do you mean? Unmute your mic and ask me a question, maybe. But let me know when you're ready. The color. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead, Abby.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, what up?
You got.
Color. Oh,
Yeah.
Debbie, you know when you're
Just
ready.
mute
I'm
your
ready.
computer
Okay, what up?
and talk.
Okay,
I'll hear
so when you change the color, you want to do all of those videos at the same time. Okay, so.
Yes, mute and I'll explain. Okay, cool. So here, I don't need to do a compound clip because that would mean I can't edit anymore. Oh, cool, awesome. That would, Morgan, just go ahead and mute yourself. Welcome to the call. But you can unmute if you want to ask questions. It's super great.
Cool, awesome.
Morgan,
just go ahead and mute
I'm
yourself.
gonna
Welcome to the call.
mute Morgan if I can. I can't. Morgan, you can do it. Oh, she did it. Great. You don't want to make a compound clip because then you can't edit your clips anymore. Like you'd have to decompose them again. I'm not doing that. I'm going to pick one, and the reason I say open mouth again, open mouth because your teeth change drastically from everything around them. Like the inside of your mouth is way darker than your teeth, which are typically far lighter than your skin, okay? And so like you don't want to do a picture of just a closed mouth because that white balance even will change everything. So I've got an image here where my mouth is open. I'm going to find a good, there. That's about as wide as my mouth gets in this scene, but it's enough information to work off of. Now I can go in and make a few key adjustments, and I've started doing just 2 things to my color, and it like changes the world, guys. So check this out. Number 1, I'm going to go here to my custom curves. I am going to click on these 3 dots. You don't have to understand it. I promise. You just do these things and it works. Click on editable splines. Then I'm going to click on this guy right here. And note, it gave me another dot. I'm going to grab that dot and move it very little. Okay, ready? And watch my face as I bring it up. A little brighter, okay? Back to where it was. Back to where I put it. And only move that line just a little bit. Now I'm going to click on the bottom one. It adds me another one. I'm basically making a very slight S-curve. I'm going to grab this. Now this is going to grab the lows of the lights, the low lights, and pull this slightly down. And it adds beautiful contrast. Okay, so comparative, A, B, A, B. It makes the skin pop quite a bit more. Now I'm going to go into the color warper, the hue and saturation color warper. I'm going to select yellow. Everybody has orange in their skin. Yellow and red cross the orange line. The yellow tends toward green in our skin and is just not as wonderful. Move it slightly toward the orange, and I mean just a little bit, and I'll show you. I grab just this, the yellow farthest from the middle, so this is the most yellowy parts of the scene, and I'm going to make them just a little more orange than yellow. That's all. So I grab this, and you can maybe see it in my skin as I go. Move it just a little bit up toward the orange, just a little bit. See? Okay. That's it. And now I'm going to hold Control and click on the one up here by red. And both of these, I'm going to adjust the luminance. Basically, everything that straddles the line of orange, usually just your skin, maybe other things around you, but that's okay. I'm just going to increase the luminance in them. It's going to make them look like there's more light on them. So watch, again, my skin here. A little brighter. And if I take it back to the other, look, not as bright. Still have the other thing on it, the curve. I'm going to bring it back up a little bit just so I feel like it's good, but not like scary. I don't want it to look like artificially, you know, like blown out compared to the whole scene. So maybe somewhere here in the 60s. But if you just compare that to the original, A, B, it actually makes a humongous difference in the way the picture looks. So just those 2 little things that I could have done in like literally 20 seconds if I weren't explaining it make a huge difference. Janus, you're watching without audio. I'm so thankful you're here, man. Thank you for coming, Janus. But you have no audio, so you don't know I'm saying hi. So what am I going to do? I can just be like, hold on. I have a paper towel here, Janus. Hold on. If you're still watching, you'll see this. This is our Danish friend, okay? Hi, Janus. I hope you see that, man. Wait, up here. Yeah, that's a mic, not a camera. Okay, buddy. I hope you see that. You're awesome. Glad you're here. Okay, so that's the color. Color's done. And oh wait, you like that? So this right here, I'm just gonna copy. I could Control C it, but a really, really nifty thing, and especially if you have multiple scenes, right click on the image, grab still. And now I have one up here. Now I'm gonna click once, go to the end, because it's all the same video footage on the same track. Hold Shift and click everything. Right click on this image and go to Apply Grade. They're all done. Now I've done them all, and I've maintained my edit. Did anybody miss that? Let me know if you have questions about what I just did. You feeling good, Abby? Okay, we'll find out. All right, so now the color's done. I don't have to do anything else with my color. I'll re-enable the first layer, and I'll go back here. Color's done. Next thing I want to do, because this one is me talking over a screen, that screen actually acts as my B-roll for most of the video. So I'm not going to start by making my B-roll list because this is built-in B-roll. So the first thing I want to do is isolate which clips I want to use as B-roll. So I'm not going to be talking as much for the next couple minutes, but if you guys want to watch the process, please stick around. Shouldn't take too long because I do this at double speed. And you can see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to just go to where I think that starts.
Well, it's your Dr. Rant. You can ignore the information if you want to, but only at your own detriment. If you want to grow on YouTube, you need to understand this. Welcome to Creator People. I'm Brandon, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing the absolute
And
basics
watching
of what
this
you
now
need
does
to know to
not
understand YouTube
get you
analytics. And I'm going
guys
to show you
to
the
watch
most
the video
important
tomorrow.
analytics to look
You
at
should.
for this exercise.
It's
We're
a
going to use
thing.
this video for my wife's channel on how to make cold brew coffee. And the first metric we're going to look at is views. But this is actually not the most important. It is a really great indicator of the health of
Move
the
this guy
video
up.
or your channel, but it actually isn't the most helpful for interpreting what you did right or wrong with the video. Rather, your views are just a fruit of whatever kind of seed you've planted and watered and cultivated, which you can learn more about by looking at the other metrics we're going to look at. So views are important, but they're not going to tell you how to fix your videos. As we're looking at the rest of these metrics in your YouTube analytics, the thing you need to understand is that YouTube is a business. They make money when people run ads on your content and people watch those ads. And the way for them to get more people to watch your ads is for them to keep more people with their eyes glued to the screen on your video for longer. And if your video is keeping people on the screen for longer, they'll see more ads, YouTube gets more money, and so they'll show your video more. But conversely, if people aren't watching your video for very long, they're not going to show it to as many people because they will lose money by doing so. So the thing we really need to start looking at is watch time, but watch time by itself isn't the thing. We need to look at two specific metrics. We need to look at your average view duration, or AVD, and your average percentage viewed, or APV. Now this gets dicey because they get very confused. These are not the same thing, but they are related to one another. See, what YouTube really wants is a longer AVD, average view duration. So you might think, well, if I just make longer videos, I will get more plays. Maybe, but if people are watching 1 minute of a 100-minute video, it's not as good as if they're watching 2 minutes of a 4-minute video. So the thing we focus on to increase your AVD, your average view duration, is actually the APV.
Can you actually catch any of this?
Because we can see what's working and not working throughout the video and change the way we plan and shoot and edit so that we keep eyeballs on the screen for longer. This is something I spend a lot of time working on with students in my one-on-one coaching programs. If you want information on that, you can actually get a free consult by clicking on the link below.
There's
But the
a
thing you
CTA,
really understand
built
is
a
your video
CTA,
needs to
and
be
so
interesting, but
good.
it doesn't mean you need to be Mr. Beast. It wouldn't hurt to be a little more beast-like for some folks, but having things changing on the screen, it makes a big difference here. And you can actually see it in your trends. So when you go and look at your watch time, I want you to look at both of these numbers. You can see on this video, she's just about 49%. It's not stunningly amazing. It's not horrible. It's okay. It's fine. But it's at least fine. And because it was fine, and people watched the video that much, and they got value out of it, and they commented, and they liked, it also has got nearly 47,000 views since it was published, and it keeps getting clicks. Make sure you watch this whole thing because we're going to talk about click-through as well. That's a big deal. But the really important thing to remember is that this is very impacted by this. And if you work on people watching more of your video, then you can work on longer videos if you want to. But first, you gotta get them to stick around. Now, what about those click-through rates? This is something you really need to study well. And you can see here on this one, 5.9%. That's actually pretty good. There are entertainment style channels and even some educational style channels that might be getting much better rates than that on some videos. But if you get a rate above 5%,
Okay,
you can feel decent
so
about that. Even when I say that,
the
that's
reason I'm pulling up clips is because I'm isolating this is like my main camera footage. I'm pulling it up into the next layer because I'll know that everything in that layer is supposed to be overlay, and therefore everything under it is supposed to be the screen being shown. If that makes sense. Let me know if you have more
videos come out,
questions.
you can expect a much higher click-through ratio because your core
there's
audience is
stuff
seeing them
here.
first via either notifications or their subpage or something like that. And they're more likely to click because they know your face. Great. But as it starts being shown to a wider audience, they're less likely to click. So your click-through ratio, your CTR, will naturally go down. But how much it goes down actually depends on how much YouTube shares your video. A really good example of this is actually a video my wife just put out yesterday. And you can see the click-through ratio is only 3.4. That's actually not bad because as you can see here with the impressions, this is the other metric you need to look at. The impressions were pretty low, and then suddenly, and I changed the thumbnail, other conversation there, they jumped up far greater than they usually do. And since there were so many more people who have no idea who she is seeing this video, far less of them percentage-wise were clicking. But you can still see the views jumped up. If you're getting
So
that kind of
anytime
shit
I'm
in your graph,
referencing
it's okay.
that footage
Your click-through ratio
behind,
can go down. Nobody's doing that.
I'm
And actually, YouTube on the mobile will give you a little
that
notification that tells you
track
it's
so
okay
that
that
you
it's
can
on down, it's
see
not
it
affecting
behind
you
there.
But the important takeaway here is actually that your impressions and your click-through ratio have a complicated relationship.
Wait,
Now,
what did that
watch
say?
the release will give you a little notification that tells you it's okay. That it's on your view have a complicated relationship. And that works together
But
after
I know.
notification.
But here, I remember there's a piece of B-roll I already know has to go in there, so I'm just gonna hit M, not with any clips clicked, and it's gonna put a marker in. And I keep going.
It's notification that tells you it's okay that it's on down.
It's something I need to do.
But the
I sure
important
there's
takeaway here is
something.
actually that your impressions and your click-through ratio have a complicated relationship, and that works together along with your watch time metrics to inform how much YouTube is going to promote your video. And yes, it is way more complicated than that. And I've got content on the channel already and new content coming soon showing you how to improve your watch time. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of that when it comes out. But for now, just remember, watch time, including AVD and APV, as well as the relationship between your CTR and your impressions, informs the amount of views you get, not the other way around. And even a 2% click-through ratio might be okay if you're getting hundreds of thousands of impressions. But if watch times where you're struggling a little more right now, I recently made a video sharing the easiest ways to improve your
Great. Cool. Super good. So now I know I've got all those parts that are going to be screen shares, and I'm going to go ahead and set those the way I want them to be by first, just like I did when I did the color grading for all of it. I'm going to click on this right here, and I'm going to set this the way I want it over the screen. So I'm going to zoom down, and I'm going to roughly match the face down below it. So I'm going to crop so it kind of fits. You'll see me moving the wrong sliders, like right for left, left for right, top for bottom, bottom for top. That's just because this image is actually flipped. So yes, you're right, it's backward, but it's intentionally backward. So I'm going to move this guy down here. I'm going to crop a little, as much as I can. I want the biggest face I can while not covering content, or still covering the actual image of myself there. And so I'm going to crop a little bit on the left more, and then I'll move this guy over. I'm going to crop a little more on the left, I think, to pull the right in. Move it this way, and then we'll go down. Okay, and then a little up maybe. All right, so I just I'm gonna crop the top too. Yeah, that'll help. Move up just enough to cover it. Okay, so I now have that structured correctly, and I'm gonna go ahead and do something to make sure I'm separated well from the background. There are a number of ways you can do this. I've done it with multiple different generator layers. I've done it with layers. I've done it with images. You can do all kinds of stuff. The easy button, if you're not using a DVE thing like Abby talked about, is to throw a drop shadow on it. I've done this. This is like super fast. I'm going to make it a white drop shadow, which basically is a glow instead. I'm going to bring it super close to the image. Drop distance goes all the way away. And I'm going to reduce the blur to make it a little stronger and make it increase the strength and reduce the blur to maybe around there. Now, the white's okay. I'm going to try maybe like a fuchsia or purple. Purple's not really easy to see. Let's try this blue. The blue kind of interferes with that blue line, but I think it looks good. Let me have a vote right now. Blue, purple, fuchsia. Let me know in the chat. Pop it in there. Let me know. Janusz removed his messages. I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm glad you're here, buddy. Glad you're here. Okay, so let me know if what you guys think about color, and I will white. You can't decide. You disagree. Morgan, you have to tie break. Or anybody else in the chat. I have a white and a purple right now. Let's hear them. Jen says purple. Abby says white. Always. Janusz, hey. Well, he's voted all the way from Denmark, people. Purple. He says purple. Well, let's do this. I'm going to go with this lighter purple. Just not. I will defer to white, just not. Calvin says purple. It's definitely a quorum now. I'm going to go with this version of purple. Yay. And I'll go a little lighter. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down here. It's not quite a pink. It's still a purple, a little bluer. We'll do this one and see how that looks. I think that's fine. The strength all the way up and the blur, no too much blur. Just a slight separation. Looks a little cool. The popular choice. It's not always a democracy, but sometimes it is. This is a editatorship, not an editocracy. I'm not sure how that works. But also, even Morgan said purple. Sweet. Glad that's the case. Let me go back here, and what I'll do is now, this is super nifty. I'm going to Control-C, copy this clip. Now, what I have done just now is to copy everything about this clip. And I don't think you understand. Everything about this clip I have copied. Therefore, I can copy any part of it to another clip. So I'm going to grab everything on this layer, because I know this layer is nothing but the overlays. Okay? And I'm going to hit, ready? Alt-V. Not Control-V, Alt-V lets me paste any attributes I want from it. So I'm going to go into Video Attributes and select All. See that? None. Any individual, right? I can select anything I want, but I'm going to select All. This will make the same crop, the same rotation, the same angle, pitch, yaw. It will copy all fusion effects, and it will copy the drop shadow. And so I hit Apply, and now look. They're all in the right place with the right drop shadow. All of that work's done. Okay, next step. that help? Does that help with anybody? Hit like if you haven't. And if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, you should subscribe because I will tell you more things. Welcome. All right, but let me know actually if it was helpful. And I'm going to now start to look for where I might need B-roll. Now, I do that in a similar way to how I've done other things, but let me real quick grab a tab. That was not intended to rhyme. I apologize sincerely if that was problematic. I will show you guys this part as well, actually. Let me open up first a tab of Pexels.com. If you don't know about Pexels, you need to know about Pexels, peoples. And then I'll also open up a Drive tab, and I'll switch to the correct account. So many things. 1 second. Too many accounts. Okay. All right, that's my wife. I married way up. It's great. Okay, so I'm going to make a new document here. It will just be a blank Google Sheet. And I will put that next to my Pexels thing. Here's why. I'm going to go over here and just hit Shift-L again. And I'm going to run through this thing quickly and listen for things that spark my imagination to say, oh, there could be a video of B-roll. That's it. I'm like, oh, I have an idea about that.
Watch. If you're just getting started, YouTube analytics can seem super daunting, but it doesn't have to be. And the truth is that not understanding and reading your analytics is like not understanding
I'm like,
and
oh,
checking your
something
budget, or like
daunting.
not wanting to see test results your doctor read. You can ignore the information. It's
Test
actually only your own
results.
estimate. If you want to grow on YouTube, you need to understand this. Welcome to Creator People. I'm Brandon, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing the
I said
absolute basics
budget.
of what you need to know to understand YouTube analytics.
Right.
And I'm going to show you the
Next.
most important analytics you need to look at for this exercise. We're going to use this video for
Analytics.
how to make cold brew coffee. And the first metric we're going to look at is views. But this is actually
Someone confused. Interpreting. Oh, cultivate plant. Business. Ads.
see more ads, YouTube gets more money, and so they'll show your video more. But conversely,
Eyes.
if people aren't watching your video for very long,
Money.
they're not going to show it to as many people because they will lose money by doing so. So the thing we really need to start looking at is watch time. But watch time by itself isn't the thing. We need to look at two specific metrics. We need to look at your average view
Watch
duration, or AVD,
time.
and your average percentage viewed, or APV. Now this gets dicey because they get very confused. These are not the same thing, but they are related to one another. See, what YouTube really wants is a longer AVD, average view duration. So you might think, well, if I just make longer videos, I will get more plays. Maybe, but if people are watching 1 minute of a 100-minute video, it's not as good as if they're watching 2 minutes of a 4-minute video. So the thing we focus on to increase your AVD, your average view duration, is actually the APV, the average percentage viewed, because we can see what's working and not working throughout the video and change the way we plan and shoot and edit so that we keep eyeballs on the screen for longer. This is something I spend a lot of time working on with students in my one-on-one coaching programs. If you want information on that, you can actually get a free consult by clicking on the
Glad
link
you were
below.
here,
But the thing
Jen.
really need to
Hope
understand
you
is the video
get
needs
a
to be
lot out
consistent.
of it.
But that doesn't mean you need to be Mr. Beast. It wouldn't hurt to be a little more Beast-like for some folks, but having things changing on the screen, it makes a big difference here. And you can actually see it in your trends. So when you go and look at your watch time, I want you to look at both of these numbers. You can see on this video, she's just about 49%. It's not stunningly amazing. It's not horrible.
Yeah, so
it's okay.
wherever
It's fine.
this stuff
But it's
is, I'm
fine.
not getting
And because
extra
it's fun.
B-roll. Save
So
myself
there are
some time,
entertainment
keep
style
moving.
channels and even some educational style channels that might be getting much better rates than that on some videos. But if you get a rate above 5%, you can feel decent about that. Even when I say that, that's not a hard and fast rule. Usually when your videos come out, you can expect a much
Slash
higher click-through ratio
thumbs
because your
up.
core audience is seeing them first via either notifications or their subpage or something like that. And they're more likely to click because they know
And
your
don't
face.
worry
Great.
about spelling
But
and
as it starts
typing
being shown
fast.
to a
I'm
wider
a bad
audience, they're
typer.
less likely to click. So your click-through
Just
ratio,
joined, I'm
CTR,
so
will naturally go
confused.
down.
Hey!
How much it goes down actually depends on how much YouTube shares your video. A really good example of this is actually a video my wife
Welcome. Glad you're here, Leah. I'm editing right now. I'm running through my footage really fast and just typing in a list of ideas of B-roll that could fit over the footage. Put out, yeah. And I'm doing that by hitting Shift-L. It goes
and you can
double
see the
speed.
click-through ratio is only 3.4. That's actually not bad because as you can see
And
here with the
again, I don't
impressions,
need
this is the other
anything
metric you look at.
here,
The
so I'll
impressions
click
were
past it.
such, and actually YouTube on the mobile at least will give you a little notification that tells you it's okay that it's on down, it's not affecting your view count. But the important takeaway here is actually that your impressions and your click-through ratio have a complicated relationship, and that works together along with your watch time metrics to inform how much YouTube is going to promote your video. And yes, it is way more complicated than
can't
that.
see
And I've
that.
got content on the channel already and new content coming soon showing you how to improve your watch time. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of that when it comes out. But for now, just remember watch time, including AVD and APV, as well as the relationship between your
let me go
sections,
back
and that works together along with your watch time metrics to inform how much YouTube is going to promote your video. And yes, it is way more complicated than that. And I've got content on the channel already and new content coming soon showing you how to improve your watch time. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of that when it comes out. But for now, just remember watch time, including AVD and APV, as well as the relationship between your CTR and your impressions, informs the amount of views you get, not the other way around. And even a 2% click-through ratio might be okay if you're getting hundreds of thousands of impressions. But if watch times where you're struggling a little more right now, I recently made a video sharing the easiest ways to improve
Okay,
your engagement
that's
and
it.
extend your watch time. So after you hit subscribe, go ahead and click here.
Okay, so now I've run through that. So now what I'm going to do is actually use this list that I have here to work through. And guys, if you don't know Pexels, Pexels.com, P-E-X-E-L-S, it is free B-roll. If you can't find videos for things, they have photos as well, but better for photos would be unsplash.com, U-N-S-P-L-A-S-H. Unsplash is free pictures, but anybody can use. People put their content up there as promotion for their brand. So I'm now going to go and put in these words, these ideas that I had for what could be good B-roll. So I remember something being daunting, something being hard. So let me just try the word daunting, which will probably result in nothing. 0 videos. Awesome. So what? Daunting. Something's overwhelming. Stressed. Burden. So let's try burden. Nope. That's sad. Don't want sad. Don't do sad. Heavy. Mountain. Maybe a mountain that's too high to climb. Mountain. There's gonna be pretty mountains. No. This is where like the creative thing comes in, right? You got to really think through like what is going to visually communicate the idea. Let's try difficult. Although this one could work, right? This one looks like this is a daunting climb. Let's see here. Yeah. Difficult. Oh, that could work. Let's see. Maybe. These people look so sad. It makes my heart sad. Not all the B-roll is good stuff. Let's see here. Maybe. I might just skip it. I'll take that one, but I might just skip it. All right, test results. Doctor. Yeah, those are test results. Keep moving. Budget. Yeah, this is obviously a budget situation. There's money and a calculator. Good. Keep it going. It's a good one. You can make better B-roll yourself. You can find the best B-roll. You can pay for B-roll. Your time is also... Happy Donkey. I don't know what you mean, man, but I love that. That's great. Thank you for sharing Happy Donkey. Not donkey. Daunting, like difficult. Okay, so... But you can just find something that communicates it, and it's still better than just your face all the time. But don't find the wrong B-roll. Acceptable B-roll is different from bad B-roll. So, like, if you're saying something is exciting, don't show a picture of someone depressed. That misses the mark. It's okay to get a B-. It's not okay to get an F. Yeah? Okay. Budget and burden. Donkey. Burden. Okay, maybe? I'll think about that. Analytics. See what comes up here. Maybe? This one. I like this. What's it doing? Yeah, I'll take that. Perfect. Got it. Next. Confused. Wait, no, don't do that. This person doesn't look confused. 2 hands. Can I get 2 hands? Yes. Now you're confused. Okay, I'll download you. Thank you. She helped. It was great. Have to go, but okay. Awesome. Glad you were here, Morgan. Come back. I'll be here till probably 4 o'clock. Let's see here. My time. Eastern. U.S. Okay, we got confused. Cultivate plant. This is interesting. So maybe like watering a plant. Watering. This is cute. Look at the garden. Okay, gardening, watering. Okay, maybe. Oh, or pruning a vine would be so good. This is adorable. It doesn't fit. See, it's adorable. I love the video, but it doesn't fit, so I can't use it. What is she doing? She's spraying a plant. I don't know if that tells me cultivate. And already I'm starting to spend too much time on this because I really want the right video. Oh, wait, what's this? I kind of... Ooh, and then movement. Movement is always good, guys. Look for movement in your beat, right? Yeah, this one wins. Good job, plant thingy. Thank you, Karolina Grabowska. Business. Business. This one says business. Okay, if it's not great, I won't use it. I'll skip it. Ads. Okay, ads. This could be harder, right? Let's see if there's anything for ads. I have so much to try and retain information I learn is tricky. I need to learn more editing skills. Calvin, let me know. What are you struggling with, man? Like, what things are difficult for you? What skills are you having a hard time picking up? Is there something I could show you while we're on the live, man? I'm glad you're here with us, and let me know if you have questions. Okay, ads. Yeah, those are ads. Actually, yeah, those are pretty decent. Let's try something real quick. Advertisement. Not like the billboard. I don't need that. Yeah, well, okay. Billboards it is. I'll take that one. Okay, next. Okay, eyes, because get eyes or watch time, I think is what we're thinking of. That is very intense. That may not be what I need. No, everybody looks sad. They're all like, I'm a model. I'm brooding and moody. So these downloads just hang out in your computer and you can drag into your editing program later. You gotta watch. Leah, I'm gonna blow your mind. Hold up. Eyes. Yeah, no, forget the eyes. I'm gonna skip it. All these eyes are too much and I don't want them. Money! Lots of pictures of money. Filthy lucre. Everybody's got some of that, right? Okay, not right now. Money. Let's see. I don't remember the context. So I'm going to download this one because it had in someone's hand. I've used this one before, and I'll grab this one just in case. All right. Watch time. So I need like someone watching something, or I need a clock, not a watch, a clock of something moving. An hourglass might be good. Watch TV. Or watch video. Yeah, this guy watching a monk. Let's go. All right. Good job. Good job. Good job. Wait, okay, that's fine. That's good. Okay. Nope, nope. All right, give me a thumbs up, people. Let's see here. See, this is why I need to hang out. Come on. Let's do this, Leah. I like this guy. He's like a little bit deadpan, but he's giving me thumbs up. He's like not sure. He's like, maybe good job? I don't know. It's funny, but we'll wait and see. Oh, but she's cute. Hold on. Good job. Well, yes, I will utilize the cuteness of children to get people to stick and watch my videos longer. Okay. Mobile low C2. Oh, that's a picture I need to share from my images, so I will remember to add that in later. I have a marker for it, so it's okay. And then complicated or calculus. Calculus. I don't even know if that is calculus. I didn't take it. Did y'all take calc? Let me know in the chat if you've taken calculus. Confession from Leah. Oh, wait. Sorry, I'll get back to you, Leah, just a second. Calvin said, if I shoot out of sequence, I get confused in editing. Knowing this scene came first, because I shot it first, but it has to go second in the cut. Example. And then yeah, so Calvin, a really good way to handle that is, and you don't have to script everything, although it can sometimes be helpful, is to use a planner. One of the things I provide to clients in coaching is this planner that I use for every single video. I sit down and plan it out, and it lets me lay out the chapters, if you will, or the outline of my video. And I do that too. Like, I'll shoot things out of sequence, sometimes not even intentionally, but I can always go back to that, and it's a little bit of a basic storyboard of what I'm going to be putting into the video. It helps me clarify the narrative in such a way that it's actually something people will watch and learn from before I start recording or editing. So, or even just writing on a piece of paper, man. Like, these are actually, no, I sell these on the website for like a couple bucks. So if you want, man, just creatorpeople.com. You can get this. You can get it bundled with the editing checklist I use as well. So that could be helpful. Let me know if that's helpful. And if you have more questions, thank you for asking the question. Confession, says Leah, I have PTSD from my last attempt to use the computer instead of my phone. Leah, what are we doing? Okay, I will jump on a call with you and help you one-on-one with this. Dude, absolutely, Calvin. I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you came and subbed the other day. Saw your name. I remembered you. Glad you're on the live with us. Hang out, man. You got a computer for a reason. Dear sister, how can I help you? Let's jump on a call. Let's walk through this together. You're not alone. You can do it. You are doing so well already. Are you still shooting on your phone? I bet you're shooting on your phone still. You're doing so well already. Your channel's growing so well. Let's take it up a notch. Your frequency, content, your quantity gets you views. Your quality gets you subs, right? So, like, what if you got even more people? It's just a thought. All right. So, calculus, I like this one. I'm going to download, I think, this one. Plus, here's another cool thing. With your B-roll, the less flat, like, in front of you, like people looking at you, you can have, the better. This is an angle. It gives you perspective. It gives you depth, and depth makes video feel less flat psychologically, which makes people want to watch you more. So, do that. I'm going to go ahead and download this guy as well. All right, that's all my B-roll. I got the B-roll. So now we're going to minimize these guys again and get back to work on the video. Oh, that's way too big. Let's, there we go. That's better. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Leah, if you're still here, watch your eyes, because I'm going to do some things. Over here, I'm going to create a folder, new bin, B, space, roll, enter, okay? I'm going to go over here into my downloads, all right? I'm going to grab my downloads folder. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see it, okay? And look, there's all the B-roll that I just brought in. I'm going to highlight all of the B-roll. Click, shift click, all of that. Okay, ready? Drag into folder. Ta-da! All my B-roll is now in my project. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and see all of the B-roll. Look, it's all there. It's all available. So now I'm going to grab, I'm going to put it on another screen because there's just too much going on over here. I need to see the whole screen. I've got my list, right? Put that over here so I can see it elsewhere. Maybe not on my chat window so I can still see you guys. So thanks, Abby. I'm hoping to be helpful to the people. I enjoy doing the live streams. If people are hanging out, they got questions, and I know I'm adding value, I want to. Oh, I didn't know you could create folders. Yes, you can create folders in the media pool. Okay, we're going to do this thing. It's going to be great. Also, typically what I'll do, and I didn't do it in this case, especially because this can get so cluttered with stuff, I'll also create new bin, right? A roll at the very beginning, and I'll put all my A roll into a bin. This isn't actually here, and then this is not really here. I was just an example earlier. And then my bin looks like that. It's very nice. Organized. My wife would be shocked because in real life, I don't organize any of the things. But on the computer, organization sometimes. Don't look at my desktop. So many icons. All right. Into the B-roll. Now I'm going to go and place the B-roll, and I'm going to look at my list. Oh, so the first thing I said was it was daunting. And do I have a video for that? I had a video. If I really wanted to take time, I can go and label these things, but meh. Nobody wants that. I don't think I even got a video for daunting. Did I? Something being daunting? Something being oh, yeah, the climber. Cool. So I got a clip of that. Let's listen.
If you're just getting started, YouTube Analytics can
Super daunting. Okay. So I go over here, and I find a part that's cool. Wait. This person fall? That's amazing. That'd be great. Yes! They fell. No, they dropped. That's anticlimactic. Not that I want them to hurt, but... Oh, wait. Watch. Okay. So this guy's on the thing. Okay. Falls. No. I'm just going to get the drop. Okay. I'm going to drag this clip. Just that piece.
This can seem super daunting, but it doesn't have to be. And the truth.
Okay, and I'm going to expand this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go into speed change. I'm going to reverse it. Okay?
YouTube Analytics can seem super daunting, but it doesn't have to be.
I don't know. I don't know if that's cool or not. Let me have you guys vote on that clip. Was that helpful? You love organizing stuff. I'm so glad. Listen, you are so unaware of your talent that comes naturally to you. Our lack of understanding shocks you. Possibly? Maybe? I did have someone the other day tell me I am drastically undercharging for what I'm doing. Maybe. We'll see. Thank you, though. I sincerely appreciate that. I'll try to take a compliment like an actual human. He's got one leg. That would be daunting. Oh, he's got one leg?
Daunting, but it.
Bro! Calvin, I didn't even see that! That's amazing! Abby says forward, then backward. Abby's shocked, too. Hold on. Okay, so I'll duplicate it. And then I'll put this one forward. Let's see.
Super daunting, but it doesn't have to be. And the truth is that not.
Oh, no. We'll go this way.
Analytics can seem super daunting, but it doesn't have to be. And the truth
Is that okay? That's a little better. Now, but wait, there's more. There is a magical key. I'm going to do this for most of my B-roll. Click on the video. Let's see here. No way. Maybe not. I don't know. The double? Just wait. Hold up. I'm going to click on dynamic zoom. Ease in and out. The default for this is to go from big to little. I'm going to instead go swap that, okay, and then click on this one. Also give it a dynamic zoom, ease in and out. So let's see what happens here.
seems super daunting, but it doesn't have to be. And the truth is,
Might be okay. I'll wait for your approval, people. Baby is crying again. No worries, Giannis. Go be a dad, man. I totally get it. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll wait for you. Abby doesn't like it. She'll
can
deal. We'll
seem
wait.
super daunting, but it doesn't have to be. And the truth is that not under
Hold on. I have an idea. Abby, you've got an opinion. Just unmute yourself, mute your computer, unmute your mic, and then let me know what you think. I have the zoom in and out on the same clip for effect. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, okay. But I'll wait for Abby to unmute. She'll tell us
not
what
understanding
she thinks.
and reading your analytics is like not understanding and checking your budget, or like not wanting to see test results your doctor ran.
I don't know what I think. I like the idea, but I don't know.
But you don't like the execution. So I'll show it. It'll take a second for you to see it.
Analytics can seem super daunting, but it doesn't have to be. And the truth is,
It's like it's super
analytics
daunting.
can seem super daunting, but
you
it
feel,
doesn't
but it doesn't have to
be. And the
and he
truth
comes
is,
back up. That's the idea. So I'll wait for you to hear that. Unmute again. Go ahead.
that not under
But you might not catch it. We'll go. So you're muted.
Maybe just falling. I don't. It doesn't
Understanding
work the
and
way that I originally thought that it would.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it for now. We'll come back. We gotta move. Thank you, Abby. If you have other questions, let me know. Okay, cool. If you guys are just jumping in and you haven't hit the like button, please consider hitting the like button. More likes equals more views. More views equals more views. Use? I don't like use. I'm a southerner. I say y'all, not use. Do you guys say use, guys? Let me know if you say that in the comments. All right, moving on. Next piece of B-roll I know is going to be test results and budget.
It doesn't not understanding and reading your analytics is like not understanding and checking.
Okay, budget. Okay, so this is a budget one. And so I'm going to add this one. Okay. Where is their motion? I want motion. So I'm going to do him putting the money down. Oh, and the calculator. Perfect. In budget.
standing and checking your budget, or like not wanting to see.
Okay. Or not wanting to see test results. So I'm going to go to the doctor thing with the X. Oh, those look like CTs or MRIs? Okay. Any other motion than just this person? Again, you want to find the most interesting part there probably. So, cool. And we'll take that and put it right here. And now let's go over a few frames. Split it a little more even. Okay.
Checking your budget, or like not wanting to see test results your doctor ran.
Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on this one.
Budget.
And out on this one.
Checking your budget, or like not wanting to see test results your doctor ran.
Yeah, perfect. And then I will do a quick transition. Video transitions. If you guys don't know, Mr. Alex Tex makes all the best DaVinci Resolve plugin stuff, so like go get his stuff because it's just so good. I'm just gonna do a basic ultimate whip between those two, a short one, and let's see.
And checking your budget, or like not wanting to see test results your doctor ran.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So
You can ignore
don't
the
like it, you can
information
deal.
if-
Movie views equals more views equals world domination, and that's my goal, Calvin. Not the world domination, but more views. I would love the more views because then more views is more help for the people, also more business for me, and maybe the more money, and then like I can help my wife get out of her job, and then we can change the world. World domination. Yep, world domination, Calvin. Thank you. You're right. All right,
if
moving
you
on.
want to, but only at your own detriment. If you want to grow on YouTube, you need to understand this.
Welcome to Creator People. I'm Brandon, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing the app.
Oh wait.
Welcome to Create.
there is going to be a thing there. So I'll put a marker.
You new people, I'm Brandon, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing the absolute basics of what you need to know to understand YouTube analytics. And I'm going to show you the
Analytics.
Important absolute basics of what you need to know.
Okay, where's the motion in this clip? Let's see. A little bit of panning. Let's see, but it's a slow clip, so I'll just grab. No. Let's do this. He's trying to understand. That's good. We'll go with that. Throw that.
To understand YouTube analytics. And I'm going to
Make it a little bigger. Again, we'll do a quick dynamic zoom on that. Ease in and out. Let's
you
see.
need to know to understand YouTube analytics. And
Analytics, right?
I'm going to
Okay,
show
cool.
you the most
Changes things up
important
a little bit.
analytics you need to look at. For this exercise, we're going to use this video from my wife's channel on how to make cold brew coffee. And the first metric we're going to look at is views. But this is
Okay, don't need anything there.
what you
Next
did right or
was
wrong with a video. Rather, your views are just a fruit of whatever kind of seed you've
Business.
planted and watered and cultivated, which you can learn more about by looking at the other metrics.
Oh, wait.
This exercise, we're going to use this but it actually isn't the most helpful for interpreting.
Something about being confused.
rather your views are just a fruit of whatever kind of seed you planted and watered and cultivated.
Okay, the cultivating. There was something about confusion here.
Show you the most
The most important analytics you need to look at for this exercise, we're going to use this video from my wife's channel on how to make cold brew coffee. And the first metric we're going to look at is views. But this is actually not the most important. It is a really great indicator of the health of a video or your channel, but actually isn't the most helpful for interpreting what you did right or wrong with a video. Rather, your views are just a fruit of whatever
No,
kind of
wait.
seed you planted
Okay.
seed you've planted.
and watered and cultivated, which you can learn more about by looking at the other metrics. So if you planted
Okay, so let's do the cultivated one. That's fine. More world domination, yeah. If you guys have more questions, let me know. I'm going to now do the next clip of B-roll. Let's see here. And I want the motion, right? So this, yeah. Starting here. Yeah, thanks plenty. You know, when you're digging through the B-roll, just I to start where you want the clip to start, O to stop it. So in and out of that clip. That's how you get into it, out of it. And then you can just drag it down onto the timeline. So
Rather, your views are just a fruit of whatever kind of seed you've planted and watered and cultivated. Which
and again, zoom out is typically a good way to go on this. So I'm just going to do a ease in and out on a dynamic zoom.
you've planted and watered and cultivated.
It's
Which
great. And as it zooms out, it shows you more of what's being planted and
you
cultivated.
can learn more about by looking at the other metrics we're going to look at. So views are important, but they're not.
I'm not going to tell you how to fix your videos. As we're looking at the rest of these metrics in your YouTube analytics, the thing you need to understand is that YouTube is a business.
They make money when people run ads on your content and people watch. They understand is that
YouTube is a business. So this boardroom, even though it probably is 8 billionths of the cost of YouTube's, she's putting something on the board. So let's start from the handoff. Again, motion. Very good. Throw that down here, YouTube.
but they're not going to tell
You how to fix your videos. As we're looking at the rest of these metrics in your YouTube analytics, the thing you need to understand is that YouTube
is a business. They make money when people run ads on your content and people
And then their ads. Oh, that's a really short clip, so I can just drag that out. I'll just use the whole clip, I guess.
is a business.
Okay, so move that there, move this one. I want to cover the end of the clip, basically. So on this one, I'll do an ease in and out, and I'll swap it so that it gets bigger. It zooms
Is
in.
that YouTube is a business. They make money when people run ads on your content and
This one I'll zoom out. So it's already in.
on your content
Nope, wrong way. There we go.
ads on your content and people watch those ads.
Okay, so now I'm going to do a little, again, I like just between different scenes, things that are actually different. I'm going to have to pull that one back some.
Is that YouTube is a business. They make money when
When you have two clips butted up against each other, oh, it's this one. Yeah. You have to have a few clips taken out to use any transition between them. All right, so now we can play it
YouTube
through.
is a business. They make money when people run ads on your content and people watch those ads.
Yeah, except you know what? Because of it changing so much, I actually might use the ultimate, use a zoom there instead of a.
Understand is that
what I
YouTube
had
is a
instead of
business. They make money when people run ads on your content and people
Yeah, I think that's better.
People run ads on your content and people watch those ads.
Yeah, that's fine.
And the way for them to get more people to watch your ads is for them to keep more people with their eyes
This is where the eyes things
glued to the
eyes
screen
clip
on
is
your
gonna go.
video for longer. And if your video is keeping people on the screen for longer, they'll see more ads. YouTube gets more money, and so they'll show your video more. Video is keeping people on the screen for longer. They'll see more ads. YouTube gets on your
So watch
video
time.
for longer.
So here, I'm gonna grab this. Not a lot of motion in this one, so it'll be a quick one. This is someone watching a YouTube video. Great.
With their eyes glued to the screen on your video for longer.
Do another dynamic zoom. He's in and out. Always, when in doubt, in and out. Always is in
Screen
and out.
on your video for longer. And if your video is keeping people on the screen for longer, they'll see more ads. YouTube
Makes more money, and I think this one, because that's a lot more money, and YouTube makes all of the money. All. The number of money YouTube makes, the amount is all. Okay, let's see how much we need.
gets more money, and so they'll show your video more. Is keeping people on the screen for longer. They'll see more ads. YouTube gets more money, and so they'll show your video more.
No, I don't need me there. So there.
They'll see more ads. YouTube gets more money.
And we'll just do another dynamic zoom, in and out.
YouTube gets more money, and so they'll
See,
show
it
your
creates more motion when you do a dynamic zoom in a clip of
video
B-roll.
more. But conversely, if people aren't watching your video for very long,
And note, I'm not going to do it yet, but when I go to do punches and zooms, notice how I went down. I want to create, either by zooming in or out, some differentiation between the way I was framed before that B-roll, so that when I come back into it, it's like, oh, this is a different mood. I'm talking lower again. Let your visual complement your auditory.
they're not going to show it to
They need people because they will lose money by doing so. So the thing we really need to start looking at is watch time. But watch time by itself isn't the thing. We need to look at two specific metrics. We need to look at your average view duration, or AVD, and your average percentage viewed, or APV. Now this gets dicey because they get very confused. These are not the same thing, but they are related to one another. See, what YouTube really wants is a longer AVD, average view duration. So you might think, well, if I just make longer videos, I will get more plays. Maybe, but if people are watching 1 minute of a 100-minute video, it's not as good as if they're watching 2 minutes of a 4-minute video. So the thing we focus on to increase your AVD, your average view duration.
Okay, when posting my video, do I want to do chapters? This is a really good question. Okay. Chapters will potentially make your video more searchable. Chapters, the data's in on this. Some of the guys that I watch the most, some of the guys on the leading edge, the guys that aren't afraid to say their findings. Yeah, so the chapters, Leah, are when you put those breaks and you put time codes in your description and it automatically puts breaks in the timeline when you're scrubbing around YouTube. Chapters seem to be proven to destroy your watch time. If I'm looking for information on one brand of soap and you're doing a video reviewing 5 brands of soap, honestly, put yourself in my shoes. You just want information on the one brand of soap. I don't care about the other ones. Are you watching the rest of that video? You're not, right? Maybe, but probably not. I know you love chapters, Janus. I love chapters too. They're great for the viewer, which means they should be great for the creator, right? Except that conversion from people watching little snippets seems to not be as high. I think Evan Carmichael, you can Google him. I think he's the guy I got the data from on something he put out. Chapters have wrecked watch time. I often watch more of a video than I'd like to because I don't know where the specific information I want is. Jesus would use chapters. I don't know. Because Jesus spoke in long parables, and his disciples said, why do you speak to them in parables? He's like, because it hasn't been given to them yet to understand. I don't know, man. That would just be my quick back and forth, but I do love what you said. That's really funny. And here's the balance. Let me ask you this question back, Giannis. I like the back and forth, man. If you use the chapters, and therefore are more helpful to the people, you're so helpful, they get the information and bounce and never come back to you. And since they only watched a little bit of your video, YouTube won't show you again to them. Will you be any help to them long term? That's the question. The real question needs to be, I think, are you going to add consistent value to your audience? Okay. If you are, then the best value to them is seeing more of your content. And if they watch 1 minute of a 10-minute video and never look for you again, and they're probably not going to if they only watch 1 minute, got what they wanted, they're out, right? Unless it's that specific thing again. Then you're not going to be adding consistent value to them. I'm not coming down on a side on this. I'm just saying there are pros and cons to it. I haven't used them because it does take more work, a little bit, and that effort can be put into other places, like making this a live stream instead of just editing my video and trying to get it out on time, which I need to hurry up. It's something to think about, man. It's something to consider. It's a double-edged sword. Now, the other thing that might mitigate the effect of us doing chapters is that YouTube's auto-indexing now. Have you ever Googled something and it's an old video, but on the Google search page, it's like, here are the chapters of this video. But then you go to the video and there's no chapters on the video. How do they know that? YouTube is interpreting the transcript from the auto captions. Chapters, a little like long, short value. Yeah. It's a conversation to be had as long as you are short. Yeah. It's a conversation to be had, man. And I wouldn't come down on either side of it right now. Chapters, I love chapters when I see them. But if I'm asked, do I watch less of that video when there are chapters? Yes, absolutely. There are some like daily tech news channels that I watch, and I scrub through the stuff I want to watch and ignore the rest. Would I have watched more of that video without it? Probably. Something to consider. Asking as you are short and to the point. The videos are on the chat. Yeah, oh, that's fair. Yeah. I try to be pretty punchy with my value, with my content. So maybe that helps. Calvin said, I heard chapters are great for being found on outside search engines like Google. Other search engines are available. Yeah, they can be. Again, I would say they, in general, are better for searchability. And searchability is a long-term game. But I asked the question, where is the balance of searchability and watch time, which even more than you subscribing or not, watching lots of someone's videos sends a signal to YouTube that you want to see more of them. I have videos on my feed right now. I do not subscribe to this channel. I've tested it. I just watch their stuff, and so YouTube's always showing it to me, more than most of my channels I'm subscribed to. Something to consider. Ups. Yeah, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. Okay. Did I do all the... No, a little more B-roll. To the B-roll.
This is something I spent a lot of time working on with students in my one-on-one coaching programs. If you want information on that, you can actually get a free consult by clicking on the link below. But the thing you really need to understand is that your video... Not if you want information on that, you can actually get a free consult
by clicking on the link below. You guys can also get a free consult, but there's no link below because I didn't do that for this video. So, whatever. CreatorPeople.com. I'm going to put a marker here because I know I need to put a thing in there, a CTA. All right.
Link below. But the thing you really need to understand is that your video needs to be interesting. Now, that doesn't mean you need to be Mr. Beast. It wouldn't hurt to be a little more Beast-like for some folks, but having things changing on the screen, it makes a big difference here. And you can actually see it in your...
I should have a picture of Mr. Beast. Why don't I have a picture of Mr. Beast in my B-roll? What am I doing? I think I have a picture of him. So I'll put a... It wouldn't hurt to be a little more... I'll just put that because I use it for a thumbnail, so I've got one
having
somewhere.
things changing on the screen, it makes a big difference here. And you can actually see it in your trends. So when you go and look at your watch time, I want you to look at both of these numbers. You can see on this video, she's just about 49%. It's not...
Okay, no B-roll needed there. Here.
That might be getting much better rates than that on some videos, but if you get a rate above 5%, you can feel decent about that. Even when I say that, that's not a hard and fast rule. Usually when videos come out,
feel good about that. Thumbs up.
If you get a rate above 5%...
Where's my thumbs up person? There she is. Oh my gosh, she's adorable. 2 thumbs up or 1 thumb up? I don't know. Let's see. 2 thumbs up or 1? What do you guys think? 2 thumbs up or 1 thumb up? Let me know what you think. Yeah, go be a mom. Thanks, Abby. I'll put this because you can see her bringing it up. You can feel good about that. Love it. Okay. So let me grab this and throw it down there. That might be getting much better rates than that on some videos. But if you get a rate above 5%, you can feel decent about that. Okay, let's... I like the 2 thumbs. There was more smiley. Oh, Leah said, I like the voting. You guys are the best. You can vote by hitting the like button and subscribe if you haven't. But you probably have. Because you're awesome, right? I know. 2 thumbs. Yeah, we'll do those. Yeah, okay. Okay. You can feel pretty good about that.
You can feel decent about.
Oh, but notice there's a little on the top and bottom because this was done in widescreen. So zoom her in a little bit and give her a dynamic zoom, easing it out. And did I get the last piece of B-roll? A dynamic zoom? I don't know if I did. Okay, that's fine.
That. But even though I say that, that's not a hard and fast.
Oh, that's too much.
You can feel decent about that. But even though I say that, that's not a hard and fast rule. Usually when your videos
come out, you can expect a much higher click-through ratio because your core audience is seeing them first via either notifications or their subpage or something like that. And they're more likely to click because they know your face. Great. But as it starts being shown to a wider audience, they're less likely to click. So your click-through ratio, your CTR, will naturally go down. But how much it goes down actually depends on how much YouTube shares your video. A really good example of this is actually a video my wife just put out yesterday. And you can see the click-through ratio is only 3.4. That's actually not bad because as you can see here with the impressions, this is the other metric you need to look at. The impressions were pretty low and then suddenly, and I changed the
Okay,
thumbnail.
no B-roll.
It can go down. Nobody's gonna be mad. And actually YouTube on the mobile at least will give you a little notification that tells you it's okay that it's gone down. It's not affecting your view count. But the important takeaway here is actually that your impressions and your click-through ratio have a complicated relationship. And that works together along with your watch time metrics to
inform how much YouTube is going to promote your video. And you have a complex
Okay, here we go.
ratio. Have
And your click-through
ratio.
ratio. And then I need the mathematics. Oh, wait, where's that? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, this person writing is good. Wait, no. That's too much camera shake, though. In. Okay, out. Because this is so slow, I'm going to speed it up. So I'm going to go to my speed change. If you guys have questions, please drop them in the chat. Let me know what you want to know, what I can show you in editing. I'm going to keep working on this. So we've got this guy. I'm going to speed it up because it's a little too slow. So we'll just jump it to like 150.
have a complicated relationship.
And I'm going to give it a dynamic zoom. Let's see here.
Have a complicated relationship. And that works together along.
It's still too slow. I'm going to go to 300. That's what I want.
Have a complicated relationship. And
That's a little
works to-
better. Also, you might notice this
Have
is
a
super
complicated-
shaky. There's a really easy way to stabilize this. Let's click on stabilize, perspective, and stabilize.
and your click-through ratio have a complicated relationship. And that works
Little
together
better.
along with
Cool.
your
Great. Moving along.
watch time metrics to
is going to inform how much YouTube is going to promote your video. And yes, it is way more complicated than that. And I've got content on the channel.
Oh, no, it's supposed to go there.
and new content coming soon showing you how to more complicated. And yes, it is way more complicated. And yes, it is way more your video. And yes, it is way more complicated than that. And I've got content on the channel already and new content coming soon showing you how to improve your watch time. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of that when it comes out. But for now, just remember, watch time, including AVD and APV, as well as the relationship between your CTR and your impressions, informs the amount of views you get, not the other way around. And even a 2%
Wait, I wonder. Wait,
informs the amount and your
what's here?
impressions
Oh, no, that's not there. Okay.
informs the amount of views you get, not the other way around. And even a 2%
Okay. Calvin says, how are you making a roll clip into the corner and then normal again without it being jittery? So, Calvin, all I've done is I've moved it and then, like here.
and I changed the thumbnail.
Maybe I don't understand your question, so I'm going to show it here, and you tell me what you
The
think.
impressions were pretty low, and then suddenly, and I changed the thumbnail, other conversation there, they jumped up.
So that's what I did. I just moved it down, put a drop shadow behind it, cropped it into the frame I wanted. Let me know if that doesn't explain it, if you have more questions than that. Okay, B-roll's all in. It's still not interesting enough. When you look at this thing, you really want to think, okay, is there something changing other than cuts every 8 seconds or less? Now, for some niches, 20 seconds might be okay. Some of the mom folk I work with, maybe. I don't think it is. I think you can still a little bit to make it interesting. It doesn't have to be Mr. Beast, but it should be kind of interesting. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, let me know if you have more questions, Calvin. It needs to be interesting. So anywhere you don't see something else happen, something needs to happen. So the ways that I usually do this are 3 tools that I put onto my A-roll wherever I might get to change my inflection on something. So those 3 tools are punches, two tools rather, punches and zooms. The other thing we're going to use, it's not one of these tools, is text. We're going to use a lot of text or graphics if it's necessary. But punches and zooms are the way to do this. Now, difference is a punch-in is where, and I'll put one right here, right, from here.
Is a longer AVD, average view duration. So you might think, well, if I just make longer
Bit of a
videos,
cut there. Hold on, I missed that. See? You catch stuff. Excuse me. Let's see. Okay, so we'll cut a little bit there. It's a little bit of a loose cut there. Let's see.
So you might think,
Okay, so average view
duration.
duration. Then here, I'm going to punch in by bringing it in like 1.15-ish.
Average view duration. So you might think, well, if I just
Right? So that's a punch in. Alternatively, you could have a punch
make
out.
longer videos, I will get more plays. Maybe.
Okay. When I say maybe, it's a great opportunity.
Maybe.
To go in further. And that's why I only went in 1.15. I want to be able to go in further if I want to accent. So
Videos, I will get more plays. Maybe. But if people
okay, so just on maybe, I want to go in 1.3. So how's this play?
duration. So you might think, well, if I just make longer videos, I will get more plays. Maybe. But if people are watching,
Right? So maybe I could make it more accented. I could go further in. The thing to remember when you do these, watch where your eye line is. Mine's just above halfway over the screen. Look here. Now my eye line's a little further higher, so I want to pull it down. People watch your eyes, so you want to track your eye line as you're editing and move over a little bit. So now
get more plays. Maybe. But if
feels more
people are
natural.
watching
Okay.
1 minute of
Guys, I need less than 1 minute to blow my nose and stretch and drink some water. Hang out. I will be right back, guys. All right? I make promises. Right back. Okay, I didn't lie. I returned. I'm gonna just drink water and screen. I didn't want to leave long, but I had like, I don't know, sneeze. I really want a button. I don't know if anybody on here plays Minecraft, but I want a button. When I hit this, does the like the wandering trader llama drinking sound? So good. I love water. Okay. All right. So instead of doing that for all of those clips individually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix this one back the way it was by just removing all these transforms. Okay, I'm going to fix this one back the way it was. And what I'll do instead is I will do 2 layers of adjustment clips. An adjustment clip can be found in here. I'll show you why I'm going to do this. In Effects, up toward the top, Adjustment Clip. And I'll come way to the beginning.
have to be. And the truth is that not understand.
Although I think that's going to be a zoom. We'll come back to that. So we'll do a layer for adjustment clips. And I'll make this 1.15, okay? Then I'll drag the eye line down just a titch, okay? I'm going to make another adjustment clip. I'll make this. Oh, to copy something, just Alt-drag. Yeah, I'm staying here. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to make it 1.13, or 1.3 rather, excuse me. All right, quite a bit bigger. And then I'm going to drag it down a little further. So let's see.
You can ignore the information if you want to, but only at your own detriment. If you want to grow on YouTube.
Okay, so good little jumps. And now all I have to do is Alt drag those to wherever I want those. So I'm going to call this, I'm just going to call this whole track 1.15. I'm going to call this whole track 1.3. Okay, and now all I got to do is copy these over basically, right? So
Coming soon, you need to understand this. Welcome to Creator People. I'm Brandon, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing the absolute basics of what you need to know to understand YouTube analytics. And I'm going to show you the most important analytics you need to look at. For this exercise, we're going to use this video from my wife's channel on how to...
So again, I'm just adding changes to things.
cold brew coffee. And the first metric we're going to look at is
All right, so
views.
I'm gonna
But this is
grab
actually
both of
not
these,
the most
drag them over here,
important.
'cause I'm gonna
It
use them again
is a
soon,
really
right?
great indicator of the health of a video or your channel, but it actually isn't
So I'm going to grab this guy here.
the most helpful for interpreting what you did right or wrong with a video. Rather, your views right or wrong with a video. Rather, your views
See,
are just a
going
fruit
down is
of
good
whatever
too.
kind of seed you've planted and watered and cultivated, which you can learn more about by looking at the other metrics we're going to look at. So views are important, but they're
So
So views are important, but
no,
they're
that's a weird cut. Don't do that.
so views are important. Metrics we're going to look at.
So see where I pause? That's where you want to start the next one.
Metrics we're going to look at. So views are important, but they're not going to tell you how to fix your videos. As we're looking at the rest of these metrics in your YouTube analytics, the thing you need to understand is that YouTube is a business.
I'm going to go deeper here. So
Going to tell you what
Step.
we're going to look at. So views are important, but they're not going to tell you how to fix your videos. As we're looking at the rest of these metrics in your
actually, I don't like that. Right? It's too much. So I'll leave that for after that clip.
and people watch those ads, and the way for them to
Don't like that either. I needed here.
and people watch those ads.
Oh wait, no, that was fine.
And the way for them to get more people to watch your ads is for them to keep
If this doesn't feel right, if you're trying to flow a piece of talk, conversation, please do subscribe. Aw. Thanks, man. Dude, I really appreciate that, Janus. That's really kind of you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. So, thank you. When I'm trying to flow a piece of conversation as opposed to punctuate something, I want to bring up the energy or down the energy gradually. I don't want to use a punch. That's where I definitely want to use a zoom. I'll show you in a little bit how I do a layer just for the zooms, but I have to like actually edit stuff faster now.
First, more people with their eyes glued to the screen on your video for longer. And if your video is keeping people on the screen for longer, they'll see more ads, YouTube gets more money, and so they'll show your video more. But conversely, if people aren't watching your video for very long, they're not going to show it to as many people because they will lose money by doing so. So the thing we really need to start looking at is what
Wait, here. Yeah.
if people aren't watching your video for very long, they're not going to show it to as many people because they will lose money by doing so.
So there.
They'll see more ads, YouTube gets more money, and so they'll show your video more. But conversely, if people aren't watching your video for very long, they're not going to show it to as many people because they will lose money by doing so.
That one. See that?
People because they will lose money by doing
Lose
so.
money.
So the
That-
thing we
that
really need to
punches
start
in. That
looking
ad-
at
that
is
brings our
watch time.
energy.
But watch time by itself isn't a thing. We need to look at two specific
And here. Two specific.
isn't a thing. We need to look at two specific metrics. We need
See,
to look
there,
at your
yeah.
average view duration or AVD and your average
grab another one of
percentage viewed
those,
or
another one of
APV.
these.
Now this gets dicey because they get very confused. These are not the same thing, but they are related to one another.
I paused a thought. Let's punctuate it.
See, what YouTube really wants is a longer AVD, average view duration. So you might think, well, if I just make longer videos, I will get more plays. So you might think,
Or just to
well, if I just make longer videos, I will get more plays. Maybe.
actually, yeah. Put this here. I'm gonna make a deeper one for this. I'll make a small, very zoomed in one. See.
View duration. So you might think, well, if I just make longer videos, I will get more plays. Maybe. But if people are watching 1 minute of a 100-minute video,
Oh wait, no, not this one. I want this. 1.15 rather.
it's not as good as if they're watching 2 minutes of a 4-minute video. So the thing we focus on to increase your AVD, your average view duration, is actually the APV, the average percentage viewed, because we can see what's working and not working throughout the video, average percentage viewed.
Do one of these here. Pull this guy. You see how I'm almost creating a bit of a pattern where there's just peaks and valleys as we go. And it makes the video just punch in a little bit in and out, and it just adds more variety.
Because we can see what's working and not working throughout the video and change the way we plan and shoot and edit so that we keep eyeballs on the screen for longer. This is something I spent a lot of time working on with students in my one-on-one coaching programs. If you want information on that, you can actually get a free consult by clicking on the link below. But
Let's see how that looks.
This
That
is
might not look
something I
great.
spent a lot of time working on with students in my one-on-one coaching
Actually, let's do this.
programs. If you want information on that, you can actually get a free consult by clicking on the link below. But the thing you really need to understand is that your video needs to be interesting. Now, that doesn't mean by clicking on the link below, but the thing you really need to understand is that your video needs to be interesting. Now, that doesn't mean you need to be Mr. Beast. It wouldn't hurt to be a little more
Yeah,
beast-like for
like this is like, and I've zoomed out.
Now, that doesn't
and
mean
now I'm
you
doing
need to
an
be
aside.
Mr. Beast.
Watch.
It wouldn't hurt to be a little more
By
beast-like
the
for
way,
some
yeah,
folks,
right.
but having things changing on the screen makes a big
So now
difference
in all
here.
this, I
And
don't
you can actually
need
see
that.
it
I
in
don't
your
need
trends.
punches
So when you
there,
go
so
and
I'll
look at your
grab
watch
both of
time, I
these,
want
so
you to
I
look
have a
at
couple
both
others,
of these numbers.
and move
You
them
can see
along.
on this video sheet,
Here,
and
let's see.
it keeps getting clicks. Make sure you watch this whole thing because we're going to talk about click-through.
Oh wait, yeah, and then we'll put one of these guys here.
Make sure you watch this whole thing because we're going to talk about click-through as well. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. But the really
Right,
important
cool.
thing to remember is that this is very impacted by this. And if you work on people watching more of your video, then you can work on longer videos if you want to. But first, you got to get them to stick around. Now, what about those click-through rates? This is something you really need to study well. And you can see here on this one, 5.9%. That's actually pretty good. There are entertainment style channels and even some educational style channels that might be getting much better rates than that on some videos. But if you get a rate above 5%, you can feel decent about that. But even though I say that, that's not a hard and fast rule. Usually when your videos come out, you can expect a much higher click-through ratio because your core audience is seeing them first via either notifications or their sub-page. Come out, you can expect a much
If
higher
you guys have questions, go ahead and make sure to throw them in the chat so I know what you need to know because I want to help you guys.
your videos come out, you can expect a much higher click-through ratio because your core audience is seeing them first via either notifications or their sub-page or something like that. And audience is seeing them first via either notifications or their sub-page or something like that. And they're more likely to click because they know your face. Great. But as it starts being shown to a wide, they know your face. Great.
If you have questions about anything you see me doing, let me know.
But as it starts being shown to a wider audience, they're less likely to click. So your click-through ratio, your CTR, will naturally go down. But how much it goes down actually depends on how much YouTube goes down actually depends on how much YouTube shares your video. A really good example of this is actually a video my wife just put out yesterday. And you can see the click-through ratio is, and actually YouTube on the mobile at least will give you a little notification that tells you it's okay that it's gone down. It's not affecting your view count. But the important takeaway here is actually that your impressions and your click-through ratio have a complicated relationship. And that works together along with your watch time metrics to inform how much YouTube is going to promote your video. And yes, it
I
is
just saw,
way more.
Calvin, thank you, man. I appreciate it. If you have questions about that or my sneaky mission or whatever, let me know, man. I'm glad you guys are here hanging out. If you're just joining and you haven't hit the like button yet, please consider doing so. I'm happy to answer any editing questions you guys have. I'm just glad you're hanging out with me. I love the idea of working and explaining things while I'm doing it. So have fun and ask questions and make comments.
How much YouTube is going to promote your video. And yes, it is way more complicated than that. And I've got content on the
Wait.
already and inform how much YouTube is going to promote your video. And yes, it is way more complicated.
So do this guy here.
Promote your video. And yes, it is way more complicated than that. And I've got content on the channel already and new content coming soon showing you how to improve your watch time. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of that when watch time. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of that when it comes out. But for now, just remember, watch time, including AVD and APV, as well as the relationship between and new content coming soon showing you how to improve your watch time. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of that when it comes out. But for now, just remember, watch time, including AVD and APV, as well as the relationship between your CTR and your impressions, informs the amount of TV, as well as the relationship between your CTR and your impressions, informs the amount of views you get, not the other way around. And even a 2% click-through ratio might be okay if you're getting hundreds of thousands of impressions. But if watch times where you're struggling a little more right now, I recently made a video sharing the easiest way thousands of
Okay, so that's all that for the punches and zooms. Now, no, the punches. Now I go through and do zooms. So, way to do that. You can do a dynamic zoom. It's very easy to just add a dynamic zoom in a bunch of places. There's a really nifty tool. I'll show you guys how to use it real quick. Called Magic Zoom from Mr. Alex Tech again. You create an adjustment clip. Throw it on, add the Magic Zoom tool, and it gives you lots of different sliders that you can adjust how the zoom works in. So like I'm going to go into the effect over here in the inspector and change the zoom type to zoom and hold. That's what I'll use the most. We'll make it 2 seconds long, zoom scale 0.25. Okay, let's see.
If you're just getting started, YouTube Analytics can seem super daunting, but it doesn't have to be.
This is great, but I want to invert it, okay?
If you're just getting started, YouTube Analytics.
And I want to do it slower, zoom speed 3.
If you're just getting started, YouTube Analytics can seem super
Great, love it. What I've got to do now is actually add that to my media pool. For some reason, it has to be. So we've got it here.
If you're just getting started, YouTube Analytics can seem super daunting.
And now I'm going to put that in another layer. And I'm going to call that layer Magic Zoom. Okay. I should be able to just move it around and do what I want with it. Let's
For
see.
budget, or like not one.
So I don't need it there. I'm going to squash these since I know what they are already. I don't need to worry about them. So I can see the A-roll layer at the same time.
Not understanding and reading your
So yeah, I want one here. And let's see.
analytics is like not understanding and check.
And what I'll do here is the same thing. Zoom out. Yeah, watch.
Have to be, and the truth is that not understanding and
Actually, no. I'm going to invert that again. I'm going to go back to the effects, invert it, make it like 7 speed. And here we go.
reading is that not understanding and reading your analytics is like not understanding and checking your
good
budget, or like not
smooth
wanting to
zoom.
see
You see
test
that?
results your doctor ran. You
Okay,
could
question, not about editing. If someone makes a negative comment on your video, if it's not just against you, but against the encouragement you're trying to give your audience, would you delete that comment? My first instinct is to say yes. If someone gives me... I feel two ways about this. If someone is just being a troll and they're just being rude, it's your platform. It's your channel. And you are the person curating the feeling people have, what they experience when they're on your platform, right? Your channel. The other thought would be the trolls are adding more engagement, let them troll and whatever. But it really depends on the audience, right? With your channel being homeschool moms, you might can them. On my wife's channel, I block those people. Someone comes on slurring throwing curses at my wife and being foul-mouthed. This is a family-oriented channel. You got no business here. If I were running a channel on like political news, I'd probably leave them there because that's that kind of conversation. But you know, you set the rules for your community, and now YouTube actually has tools for that, for you to say what is and isn't allowed on your community. And you can set that up in your comments section so that before someone comments, there are rules they have to confirm to abide by the rules of that community before they can even comment. So you might try it. If they're just being a turd, maybe block them. If they're legitimately being critical, I've left a lot of very critical stuff if it's, you know, there for feedback. You know, maybe. Calvin, if you're still here and you want to expound on the confession video, was super interesting, let me know, man. All right, here we go.
your
Keep
doctor
going.
ran. You can ignore the information if you want to, but only at your own detriment. If you want to grow on YouTube, you need
any
to
place
understand
now that I don't have
this.
punches
Welcome to
and
Creator
zooms,
People. I'm Brandon, and in this video, I'm going
Like
to be
here, maybe I'll do this and I'll invert it again so that it's starting large.
and this. Welcome to Creator People. I'm
Ooh, I didn't like that at all. So no, that won't work. So I'm not going to put it there. It's going to be flat. We're gonna do
Brandon,
that.
and in this video, I'm going to be sharing
So we'll put it here.
the absolute basics of what you need to know to understand YouTube analytics. And I'm going to
Nope. Do that. Yeah, let's see.
sharing the app
On this one, and it needs to be like a 2. Let's see.
to be sharing the absolute basics of what you need to know
Yeah,
to
that's better.
understand YouTube analytics. And I'm going to show you the most important analytics
So now
you
I'm
need
just
to
looking for where I don't have adjustment clips anywhere for a while, and I'm gonna see if that's a good fit. Like I'm letting my eyes tell me I don't have to watch the video anymore.
and people watch those ads. And the way for them to get more people to watch your ads is for them to keep more people with their eyes glued to the screen on your
Yes.
video for longer. And if your video is keeping people on the screen for longer, they'll see more ads, YouTube gets more money, and so they'll show your video more. But conversely, if people aren't watching your video for very long, they're not going to show it to as many people because they will lose money by doing so. So the thing we really need to start looking at is watch time, but watch time by itself isn't a thing. We need to look at two specific metrics.
And here I can actually just do that. Let's see.
But watch time by itself isn't a thing. We need to look at two specific metrics.
good, yeah.
We need to look at your average view duration, or AVD, and your average percentage.
Okay, let's see if we don't need any right here because we've got all that B-roll. We might need some here. Let's see.
Usually when your videos come out, you can expect a much higher click-through ratio because your core audience.
Right here.
But if you get a rate above 5%, you can feel decent about that. Even when I say that, that's not a hard and fast rule.
Okay, so then I jump
Usually
up to
when-
there. So what I can do here
You can feel decent.
is have one that zooms out instead of zooming in.
About that. But even though I say that,
And so I just have to invert this effect to make that happen. Hey, dude, no worries, Calvin. I'm not offended at all. My brain is terrible sometimes. At night, I should probably not do anything strategically valuable to my life. So I totally get it. No worries, man.
you can feel decent about that. But even though I say that, that's not
Okay, so this is good. There's a good place for zoom out. But actually, as I say that, that's good. But this is too fast. So I need to slow down this zoom. So I'm going to go here and change that zoom speed to like 6. Let's see.
But even though I say that, that's not a hard and fast rule. Usually when your videos come out,
Yeah.
you can expect a
Maybe
hard and
7.
But even though I say that, that's not a hard and fast rule. Usually when your videos come out, you can expect
fine,
a
yeah.
much higher click-through ratio because your core audience is seeing them first
Let's see what we got over
so
here.
your click-through ratio, they're less likely to click. So your click-through ratio, your CTR, will naturally go down. But how much it goes down actually depends on how much YouTube shares your video.
So this one here actually should probably be one of these. And what I'll do is I'll punch in on it, make it even bigger, and I'll put this guy here,
Naturally go down.
invert it again. Put in, let's see.
CTR will naturally go down. But how much it goes down actually depends on how much YouTube shares your video.
That's okay,
A
yeah.
really good example of this is actually a video my wife just put out yesterday.
so we'll
And you
grab
can see
this
the
guy and
click-through
pull
ratio
him
is
over.
only it's okay. Hey, your click-through ratio can go down. Nobody's going to be mad. And actually YouTube on the mobile at least will
And we'll do an inverted one here to drop it.
give you a little notification that tells you it's okay that it's gone down. It's
Great,
not
that's
affecting your view
fine.
count. But the important takeaway here is actually that your might be okay if you're getting hundreds of thousands of impressions. But if watch times where you're struggling a little more right now, I recently
Yeah, that'll be that. Woo! Let's see here. 6. Yep, cool. If you guys have questions, drop them into the chat. If you're just joining, jump in and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what's going on. Live streaming while you edit. Now that's the multitasking. Josh, I gotta talk to people. Dude, I'm so glad you're here. Good to see you, man. I actually need to set up like a Zoom or a Google Meet with you. And I just haven't texted you because despite my extreme extroversion, I'm bad at this sometimes. I'm trying to get better. Forgive me. Let's talk. I appreciate the honesty of the person behind the channel. It's nice to get to. Dude, yeah, and I'm super glad you're here, Calvin. I'm glad you're finding value in it, man. Yeah, Josh, I am sharing my editing process because they kill a lot of editing questions. I thought it might be helpful, and actually, this has been really good live stream so far. Good questions from people. Yeah, if you have questions about editing, about how I edit, any specific techniques, let me know. Just throwing in right now the zooms. I've been meaning to connect with you. Dude, don't worry. You had a baby. Congratulations again. I totally get it. Totally get it. All right. So this will be my last zoom.
Struggling
Let's
a little
see.
more right now.
Nope, wrong way. Invert. Let's
a
see.
little more right now. I recently made a video sharing the easy.
Actually, I'm going to cheat a little bit here and grow that. Okay, let's see.
But if watch times where you're struggling a little more right now, I recently made a video
No, we got to go in a little more. Let's see.
struggling a little more right now. I recently made a video.
Why does that feel so janky? Let's see.
Now,
Oh, it needs a J cut or an L cut. This one probably needs to be an L cut. Let's see.
right now, I recently made.
Not only that, it needs a cut. Hold, please. I got to cut this thing. Yeah, that's why. It's just a few too many frames, guys. It can totally throw off the vibe. The vibe? That's not it. The flow. It's about the flow, not the vibe. Yes, that's what it needs, I think, is a J cut. Let us find out.
Now, I recently a little more right now. I recently made a
What if I remove that zoom now?
right now. I recently made a video
Should it have been an L cut? Let's see.
more right now. I recently
Nope, that's why, because I switch positions.
I recently made
Let's see.
right now. I recently made a
That's what it is.
I recently
I moved from here. Notice, from in this cut, my chair moves. It's my chair. Darn chair. Okay, we can fix this. This clip needs to slightly grow in size and move a little bit this way. Let's see if this is any better. Still moves over. Okay. What in the world? A little better, actually.
more right now. I recently made a
Ah, okay. And now the zoom is too soon. Too soon.
video sharing the easiest ways. You're struggling a little more right now. I recently made a video sharing the
It still has to zoom in a little more than that. Oh, gosh. Let's try that.
struggling a little more right now. I recently made a video
Little better.
sharing the easiest ways to improve viewer engagement and extend your watch time. So after you hit subscribe, go ahead and click here to watch that.
And that's it. Okay. Punches and zooms are done, and all the B-roll's done, and all the other. Do you find yourself doing more J or L cuts? Do you have a preference? Yeah, I usually prefer J cuts. But I do. But usually, Josh. Oh, and actually, I think I will put a J on this one. But usually, yeah, I did. Usually, I do it because I tend to have pauses at the end of a phrase that my mouth shape needs to cover an awkward cut into something. But it could just be the other way around sometimes, in which case, yeah, I'll cut it up, man. Like, use whatever's going to make the best viewing experience for your audience. But I usually more J cuts, yes, for sure. I think it's just my talking style. All right. So I have worked through my rough cut and the fine cut, and I've done the color. And all this will be in the replay, by the way. If you missed any piece of it, guys, I'm going to leave this up. I think it'll be helpful for people, and great. It has been to the people who've been on it, so that's cool. And if you have questions, let me know. Great question, by the way, Josh. What do you do more? Let me know. B-roll, I did my list. I added it in. I did my punches. I did my zooms. Now we're going to throw in some CTAs and graphics and then do text. Here's the reason I did that. I left the text for the very last thing because it is one of the most labor-intensive things, and it adds perhaps some of the most value, but is unnecessary if you're doing lots of other stuff that makes it easier. Thank you for doing this. Watching you from Janus makes me miss Resolve and making videos. How much time did you spend editing a sit-down video? Focus solo mode. Half this much time. I'm probably down to 3 hours or less for any videos that are, maybe 4 hours or less for any videos that are 5 minutes or less. If it's 10 minutes, it might be a little longer. P.S. Oh wait, okay. Okay, I have 4 days left of my summer holiday and lots of projects, including a chicken coop. Chicken coop! What kind of chickens? Yay, chickens. But imagine squeezing in a video for a day if the baby approves. Hey, that baby runs the things. I totally get it. Janus is in Denmark, and he's made videos about products for babies from a dad's standpoint. Josh is in Washington State, And he makes videos for Dungeon Masters, for Dungeons and Dragons. Also, I need to talk to him about project management. But okay, I would love to hang out longer, but the wife reminded me I have to take her to the car. You better get your wife to the chiropractor, sir. That's important. I'm so glad you joined, Josh. Come back and hang out sometime. I might do more of these, man. Just hang out and talk to people while I edit. But awesome. All right, keeping going. I got a few minutes left here before I have to go run and get my son also. So I have an errand. All right, so he asked me how long? Yeah, 4 to 6 hours is probably typical. Maybe a little less for a short one. I'm getting pretty quick when I have to explain. When I'm not explaining everything, it can be much less. Let's see here.
If you're just getting started, YouTube analytics can seem super daunting, but it doesn't have to be. And
So
the
now I'm going to
truth
throw
is
in a
that
few CTAs that I marked.
people, I'm Brandon, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing.
The B-roll website is pexels.com, P-E-X-E-L-S. Pexels, like pixels, but with an E, pexels.com.
And checking your budget, or like not wanting to see test results your doctor ran. Welcome to Create.
Okay, so I have a graphic to put in there, and I've got a graphic that I already, a text, dynamic text that I've already created. That is here in my power bins. Guys, if you're not using power bins, they're powerful. It's a thing. It'll be in my in-out digital glitch. I think it's this one. Let's see. Put it up here. Actually, maybe I'll put it down here so it'll be affected by the adjustment clip. Let's see. Yeah, okay. And then I'm going to change its yaw. And then rotation a little bit. Position over here. That's too much rotation, though, for show. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, I can handle that. Oh, wait, no. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool.
Understand YouTube analytics. And I'm going to show you the most important analytics you need to look at. For this exercise, we're going to
Okay, next marker.
use below, but the thing you really, by clicking on the link below,
What was it?
actually get a free consult by clicking on.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'll grab this same clip thing. All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and edit the title. And let's see what that looks like.
The thing you really need to understand.
Oh. I don't think I love
I
that. I think it needs a little less space between the two. Let's see. Vertical anchor. That's better. That's better. I'll move it over here.
Really need to understand that your video needs to be.
And I'll do the same thing. Size. Down here. And I'll do the yaw adjustment again. Yeah, the yaw adjustment makes it look kind of cool and also allows me to fit more in less space. Let's see here.
By clicking on the link below,
These. Cool.
you need to be Mr.
And then I'm going to try also, let's see, CTAs, links below. I'll try this one along with it, but I'll make it way smaller. And I'll put it here as a reminder. Let's see if that looks okay or not. And I'll also give it a perspective adjustment. Maybe I'll put it up here. It's too bright. We try that. Let's see. No, too much. Too busy. Don't do that. No bueno. No. Okay. Little
free consult by clicking on the link below. But the thing you really need to understand is that your video needs to be interesting. Now, that doesn't mean
That's
you
fine.
need to be.
Wait.
get a free consult by clicking on the link below.
There.
Actually get a free consult by clicking on the link below. But the thing you really need to understand is
That's
that your
fine.
video
Okay, great.
needs to be
That's CTA. Next CTA.
a little more beast-like for some folks, but hurt to be a little more beast.
I'm going to come back and put a picture of Mr. Beast. I'm going to have to go in just a few minutes, guys. If you have any more questions, ask them now, because I got to bounce in just a minute to go get my son. I will just be wrapping up the rest of this video with a little bit of text and some graphics later. I'm going to show you maybe one or two more things here. or
Mobile at
answer
least
one or
will
two more
give you a
questions.
little
If got 'em,
notification
let me
that
know.
tells you it's okay that it's gone.
Right.
At least will give you a little notification that tells you it's okay
a
that it's
graphic to put
Improve your
there.
watch time, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of that when it comes out. But for now, just remember, watch time, including AVD and APV, as well as the improve your watch time, so make sure
Subscribe. Okay, so let me show you how to do a green screeny thing in case you don't know about the green screeny things. Maybe. Actually, you guys might. Not that one. Let's see. This one? No. We'll just do this one. It's simple.
showing you how to improve your watch time, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss
Actually.
time, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of that when it comes. Improve your watch time, so make sure you subscribe. To improve your watch time, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of that when it comes out. But
Yeah, that's fine. And you know, I think just a little yaw makes things more interesting, eh? Yeah, I think a little bit of that's good.
But for now, just remember, watch time, including AVD and APV,
Cool.
as
That's
well
that.
as the
If you
relationship
have green
between your
screen questions,
CTR
let me
and
know,
your
or let me do
impressions
another video on that. Let me
informs
know if
the
you need
amount
that.
of views you get, not the other way around. And even a 2% click-through ratio might be okay if you're getting hundreds of thousands of impressions. But if watch time's where you're struggling a little more right now, I recently made a video sharing the easiest ways to improve viewer engagement and extend your watch time. So after you hit subscribe, go ahead and click here to watch that.
Okay. And no to the crashing the plane. If you don't know how to crash the plane, guys, we got to work on the plane crashing. Let's see here.
If you're just getting started, YouTube analytics can seem super daunting, but
Okay, and this one, just real quick, this little piece of B-roll needs it some color. Most of them are fine, but this one needs a little color. Let's see, do that. Let's see if it gets better. The auto sometimes is just, oh my gosh, no, that is not the, this is not the way. I'm gonna just do one of these guys real quick. Increase that contrast, bring up the saturation. Let's see if that's any better.
seems super
Hey, that's better.
daunting, but it doesn't have to.
Yeah, okay. I will now do the same thing. Just copy that over. Whew. Let's see if that's any better.
If you're just getting started, YouTube analytics can seem super daunting, but it doesn't have to be. And the truth is,
I want to put like a... Oh, no. I think I have... a fast forward, like a VHS effect thing? Let's see. Let's see here. Nope, that's not the one. Tracking? No, I'm not going to find it. That's okay. Guys, I have to go pick up my kids. So thank you so much for watching. Hit the like if you haven't. Please share this if you know somebody who would be helped by all of this editing information. And subscribe if you want to see more things like this. At Creator People, we're all about helping family-friendly creators and businesses to grow their influence and income with integrity. We don't think virality is the way to do things. We think that the tortoise game, not the hare, doing things the right way over time and adding value to people is the best way to grow, and the best way to grow reliably, consistently, and in a way that is kind of culture-proof. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Stick around, watch more things. Bye. Oh, thank you, Janus and Calvin. Super glad you were here, man. Notes I have been making, and awesome, good. I'm glad you took notes, man. Okay, bye, guys.